Hey everyone, hope you're having a great week. So, I've got a funny one for you today. It's Two for the Dough by Janet Evanovich. Now, this one there's parts of it that aren't really believable, but they're not key to the story. It's more of a here's a background kind of a deal. But overall, it's basically kind of Lucille Ball, Scooby-Doo mystery with some really fun characters. Basically what this is our main character, Stephanie Plum, it's her series, is a bounty hunter in New Jersey now. She used to be a lingerie buyer. It fell through. That job doesn't exist anymore. And I love this because she's on book 29 of the series now, I believe. But this one came out in 96, and you can kind of tell. Oh, it's a little fun. I mean, answering machines and car phones do not exist anymore, but they do in this book. And then, so we've got Stephanie Plum and Joe Morelli, who is this, Trenton cop, and they have quite the history, which is the part that isn't really necessarily believable. It started out as he got a little frisky when, he was about 8 years old, which that's a little young. Girls still have cooties at that age. And then he decided to follow up with that a decade later and didn't call, so she hit him with Daddy's Buick. Lesson learned. Maybe. And now he's back in her life, and he's no longer, the sleazy, high school guy. Now he's a cop. And clearly he wants something to do with the case that she's on, but will not admit it. Case being, one of his cousins shot his best friend in the knee. So, he got busted. Didn't show up for court, so now she's out to get his butt, because he's worth a couple grand. And then friend ends up dead. So, it's probably him for the murder, too. But, as we find out, there's more to it than that. And we know Morelli is keeping some secrets, but he's not fessing up. He's getting in her way and essentially hanging her out for bait, because he said at one point she's like a pit bull with the bone. She don't have a freaking clue what she's doing. But she is tenacious as all get out and lucky. She's like, I'm gonna friggin' find something just cause, and you're not pulling me off of this. And if her cousin, who runs a bail bonds agency, tries to get her off of the case, that ain't going so well either, because he tried that at one point, and my favorite character of the series, her mom, or her Grandma Mazur, goes and, what the heck do you think you're doing? I will stick your grandma on you. And she is my absolute favorite character. Like, she brags about shooting the chicken in his junk. And she is just a frisky little old lady. And dangerous, too. She's sitting there. Do not let that lady in a, funeral home, even though that is pretty much the center of entertainment. It's not bowling alleys or movies or bars. No, for the older crowd, it's who's laid out in which room, because that is very important, and which funeral home. Because if you don't go to the right room in the right funeral home, clearly you're trash. That is, the thing to do. And the grandma is kind of, I'd say accident prone, but come on now, we all know it's on purpose. If she doesn't get to see the body, she's getting ripped off. And she's gonna see the body. I don't care what you try to do. I mean, this is a woman that, she will knock over the casket if she has to, but she's getting in there and making sure that body is there. And if she pulls off a part of it, well, then we get some fainting widows. But she is all kinds of trouble. And we a little bit get to see Ranger and, her kind of sort of assistant Lula. But this is mostly Stephanie running around blind, ticking off Morelli, because she's accidentally better at his job and getting him very frustrated and almost running him over with the Buick again, which he kind of had that one coming. Because she does end up with another Buick, this time a powder blue 53 with, the portholes and everything. And all the guys in town love it. She hates that thing. And, she can't drive without hitting something. That's how she figures out where the car ends. And she tries to do a stakeout in it, which obviously does not go well, because you can't really hide a car that stands out that much. So, Big Blue, as the car is called, ends up a key point in this series. In this book, in the series, anytime something happens to one of her cars, she ends up with Big Blue again. And if you continue this series, what you'll find is something always happens to her cars, and Grandma will always be there to cause some hijinks that are just too much fun. In this one, Grandma tries to be, assistant bounty hunter, and they have fun, getting into all kinds of things and getting a little dirty on occasion, which is like, okay, that's not my grandma, so it's allowed. Because everybody knows Grandma's sweet little old lady. She's not allowed to be dirty. But if it's somebody else's grandma, all bets are off, and it's just fun. We find out what kind of frisky little thing she's still trying to be, despite being, almost 90 years old. She's still excitable, still dirty, and still down for a fight, and thinks she's Dirty Harry at one point. And, sneaking guns around in her oversized pocketbook, and thinking nobody knows, including her daughter, who she lives with, and is, trying to sneakily drink away the problem. So, it's a very fun, there's mysteries, and the whole off again, on again, do I want to bang him or run him over, is kind of a background that, after a while, in the second book, their relationship isn't really believable. He's basically a Neanderthal that gets a pass because it's Jersey, he's Italian, and his last name, and apparently that makes it okay. She admits that he's, absolute chauvinistic trash, but, at least he's a cop instead of getting arrested by the cops for beating her, so that makes him a good guy. And later on in the series, he does actually grow up and become a semi-decent guy. And this one, it's more of, he's hot and we've had a history since I was 6 years old. And it's just openly fun war of both teasing the heck out of each other because they both know, yep, I hate your guts, but oh my god, you're hot. And getting in each other's way, and Grandma getting in on it, and well, you haven't gotten any in a while, honey, so we invited him over, but we also know who he is, so what are you doing with him? What are the neighbors gonna think? And Grandma cannot stay out of it. And so it's just, they're going all around town, constantly in funeral homes, constantly getting up to hijinks, breaking all sorts of rules and laws, and watching the cop try to, do I want to bust her? Do I want to, play my hand? What are we gonna do? So it's just a quick, fun, not necessarily believable, but very enjoyable read. And the more you get to see Grandma, the better it is. And later on, we get more Grandma and even more characters they're just friggin' fun. I don't think they really serve a purpose other than just, we need them to do something stupid, because why not? The mysteries are just there for, it moves the plot along and gives them a reason to get into trouble. But who's getting caught and how is not, the most important part of these stories. It's very much, it's character driven, it's hilarious, and if you want to just turn off your mind and live vicariously through somebody else's drama that just constantly goes wrong in the most fun ways, definitely look up this series and is it skip the first one. That one is dark. It does not play like all the rest of the books, but it's start on number 2 and go from there, and I hope you will enjoy this. So happy reading, have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye!